Okay. So a few days ago, Clay and I watched our next Godzilla movie, which was Godzilla versus my girl Mothra. They were my Victini. They are just literally attached. But so it was Godzilla versus Mothra, which almost feels like a bit of a misnomer for Godzilla to get top billing in this movie because it is like first and foremost a Mothra movie, and Godzilla is kind of occasionally in it, but it is really cool when he's in it, which, to be fair, you could say that about most Godzilla movies. He's not in it a whole lot, but when he is, it's pretty neat. I remember, I don't know if I said this in my video on Megalon, which was a couple years ago, but I remember watching the movie, especially near the end when we get to the monster fights, and thinking, this is something straight out of the WWE. And that was how I felt watching some of this. Like, Godzilla's entrance, like the first time you see him, he's still underwater, like a meteorite hits, and you get the theme and all of that. The next time you see Godzilla, actually no, I take that back. It's not the next time you see him because he has this fight with Batra underwater, and that's cool. He uses his new signature move of ground by the tail, and then their fight is really cool, but it's like they go so hard that they like cause like a tectonic shift, and there's like a new volcano. Like, it was wild. It was really cool. But then the next time you see him is Mount Fuji is erupting, and then you see Godzilla as this like fire and ash and explosions are all around him, and that's when you get the what an entrance. Like, that is a WWE entrance if I've ever seen one. There's also a scene when, because I think the last fight's in Yokohama, and then so the Ferris wheel starts tipping over, and it's about to land on Mothra, and then Batra, like, stops it, picks it up, and flies over to Godzilla, and hits him with the Ferris wheel like it's a steel chair. And that was the moment for sure. I'm like, oh, this is just WWE now. Oh my goodness. So like Godzilla's fighting Batra, then Mothra goes over, it's like, hey, I know we got beef, but we gotta team up to fight that guy. I got you. It's so silly. It's great. So I've referenced Batra a few times. Batra is Mothra's brother. For all intents and purposes. It was like, however many years ago, scientists had made a machine that was sucking the life force out of the Earth, and the Earth countered by creating a kaiju to fight them, and that's what Batra is. It's this giant caterpillar thing that shoots, it's like lightning from its horn, 'cause it has a horn, and like lightning from its eyes. It has two different colored beams, and it's cool. I like it. And then later it evolves, and it's like its full moth mode, and it's still cool. There was a good amount of Mothra destruction in this movie, which I don't remember ever seeing. That might have been something in a previous film, like in Mothra vs. Godzilla, but she is in Tokyo looking for the Cosmos, who are the two, the Mothra twins. And she is actively, and it's not full moth mode, it is like giant larva, but is actively destroying shit. And I'm like, when was the last time I saw Mothra do that? Like, that feels weird. Like, it makes sense in context. It was just kind of weird to see, but it was still cool. And, Batra's just going around and blasting shit. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, it's a monster movie. Of course I'm going to have fun seeing the monsters fight things. I think I mentioned at the start, maybe I tried recording this a couple times, so I don't know if I mentioned it in this video or not, but it starts with some Indiana Jones shenanigans, because your main humans are an archaeologist and his ex, they trade a lot of barbs with each other, and it's pretty fun. But there's also like this evil corporation, and they end up capturing the Cosmos so they can try to use, I don't even remember exactly what the plan was, but they wanted to do something with them, but then the archaeologist ends up stealing the Cosmos back, does end up giving them to Mothra, to stop all the destruction, and then, here's Godzilla, so Mothra's gotta fight Godzilla, and Batra's gonna help too, and, like, it's, like, overall, it's a solid Godzilla movie, it's a fine Godzilla movie. It is definitely one about the environment and when man goes too far, nature is going to adapt, nature is going to fight back. Classic Godzilla theming in there. I think the monster fights are pretty fun. There is, again, I just can't get that image out of my head of Batra carrying the Ferris wheel to hit Godzilla with it. It's so funny. And then at the end of the movie, like, Godzilla's beaten, and, like, Batra grabs him, and then Godzilla just gets up and just takes a bite out of Crime, and it's crazy. But then the two of them, like, Mothra and Batra grab Goji and are carrying him, like, out to the water. I think Godzilla bites Batra again, like it's a good chunk. Atomic breaths him, and then they both end up falling into the water. So, I think that's 2 movies in a row. That's just end with Godzilla crashing into the ocean. So I'm trying to... Oh yeah, like the first time he sees Mothra, like, hatch from the egg, just immediately atomic breath. No questions asked, no provocation. This Goji is just on site all the time. And there was a bit where, like, he misses her, and then he just, like, kind of hits his hand and splashes the water. Like, dude, he's throwing a tantrum because he missed. This Godzilla's so fun. I really like Heisei era Godzilla. And there's a part of me that's like, I don't like him as much as Showa era, because Showa era could just be a goofball. Like, the dance after in Astro Monster is so funny to me. I really like the character development that he shows in Three-Headed Monster, and the way I interpret Hedorah is kind of an extension of that. And again, just in Hedorah, it's, I hate this thing so much, it needs to die. I am going to invent flight to do it. And then, like, you know, the dropkick. But I do like that Heisei Godzilla, he's just a consistent menace. He's just kind of a dickhead. And there are still these moments of... Humanity's not the right word for a giant lizard. But there are these moments of humanity. You know, there's in the first movie, in Return of Godzilla, when it's those screams he gives as he's, you know, falling into the volcano. So, you know, there's also 2 Godzilla movies involving a volcano. In Biollante, that deleted scene where after he kills her the first time and he sees that field of flowers, and he seems so genuine confusion, but then it's sadness and regret. And in versus KG, there's that moment where I don't remember the human's name, but when they look at each other and the guy's like, I want you to kill me. Godzilla, like, hesitates, then he nods, and then he does it. Even though he is an aggressive menace in the Heisei era, there is still a character here. I mean, you know, being an aggressive menace is still a character, but like I'm saying, like, there are these more human moments with Goji, and I didn't really get them in this movie, and I think that's why I don't like it as much as the last 2. I don't know if I like it as much as The Return of Godzilla, because I wasn't crazy about it when I saw it. But I feel like the more I think about it, the more I like it. It doesn't top the other 2, but I've become a lot more like, no, I do like that movie. I think it's just like, the start is great, the end is great, the middle's a little weak, but it's solid. This one is like, it's good the whole way through, and there's some fun moments, like some good monster fight moments. But I don't think the human character, I can't even say that, because I do like the squabbling and such. I think it's fun, but I don't think they're as interesting as some of the characters from KG. And at least in KG, when they're not being interesting, they're being so funny and just bizarre. Biollante is a really interesting human plot, and I feel like at least the setup in Return of Godzilla is really good. This one is also pretty good. It's pretty solid. I think that's what I think about the movie as a whole. Like I said, it's mostly a Mothra. I think that's really what it is. I love me some Mothra, but this is a Mothra movie first and a Godzilla movie second. And the other 3 are Godzilla movies through and through. So I do think, while I enjoy this film, because I've liked everything the Heisei era so far, I do think it is my least favorite of the era. So next is Mecha Goji 2, then Space Goji, and then Destroy It. And like I've been saying, like, for years now, I'm so freaking excited for Destroy It. We're so close! We're gonna get there soon, but that's it for this one. I will flap Mothra for a little bit. Now I'm done.